Well then. Have the promotional trailers for Marvel's new Echo series finally confirmed that the events of Daredevil are canon to the MCU sacred timeline? No, not that one. Pretty much, yeah. But mainly we've had confirmation from the horse's mouth too. We'll get into what was said in a minute, but I just want to remind everyone why this is even news. So, the canon status of the non-Disney Plus Marvel shows, such as the Defenders individual series from Netflix and the likes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., has always been up for debate. Not to everyone though, there's some people out there who will literally tell you that everything has always been 100% canon and will fight you to the death despite evidence to the contrary. Yeah, a lot of people got pretty upset with me when I said that likely everything pre-Disney Plus is going to be explained as only multiverse canon or just be ignored completely because of the mess and separation of Marvel's TV and movie divisions. Mr. J. Ryan, you wanker. How dare you say these shows aren't canon? What the language do you know about anything? Get your attention-seeking agenda out of my suggestions. Yeah, always appreciate you commenting, Mum. Listen, I do not have an agenda here, okay? My only goal is to provide more clarity for the people out there who are maybe more casual with Marvel's content, or just want to understand it more, and to talk about the things I love, like Marvel, and get subscribers for it. And on that note, and yes, I'm biased because I want to get my watch hours up too, but I do suggest watching that video I did a while back about which shows are canon and why it's such a talking point. It will really help you understand more about all of this, or even just refresh you on all things Marvel TV. Now, some things have obviously changed since I made that video. Marvel is going to have its first R-rated movie in the MCU with Deadpool 3, and they've been doing some less kid-friendly things in their movies that they wouldn't have done before.
Open the fucking door!
Echo itself will be R-rated too, along with future projects Blade, whenever that comes out. That's a whole other mess, to be honest, and the What If spin-off Marvel Zombies. So now that they are making more TV mature content directly in the MCU themselves, they're happy to start embracing the older Netflix content that was always known for being a bit darker and grittier. So, back to this guy, Brad Winderbaum.
Who?
I hope I'm saying your name right, mate. Now, he is basically the best person to speak on the status of if something is canon or not, other than the Marvel president Kevin Feige. Brad Winderbaum is essentially the Marvel Studios executive that is in charge of its TV division now. Officially, he's the head of streaming, television, and animation at Marvel Studios. Here is what he said in the recent interview with Screen Rant when asked directly if the Daredevil Netflix show was canon.
Now, I have a question about Daredevil. Is everything that happened on the Netflix series a part of the sacred timeline, or is it not?
So I can say that we've been up until this point, we've been a little bit cagey about what's sacred timeline, what's not sacred timeline. That was born of, frankly, a period at the studio where we were like, we have to stick the landing with Avengers.
Sure.
You know, it was another part of the company developing the Netflix stuff. We were aware of what they were doing. They were aware of what we were doing, but it was a lot. It was a lot to balance anyway. But now that, you know, some time has passed, now that we see how well integrated the stories are, I think that I personally, Brad Winderbaum, would be confident in saying it is part of the sacred time.
Well, Brad, amazing, man.
Now, he was only asked about Daredevil show, not the other Netflix shows like Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones. However, all of those shows intertwined so much with each other leading up to their Defenders crossover show that I don't see how you can have one without the other. Also, John Berthel's Punisher, who had a Netflix series in his own right and was in the Daredevil Netflix show, will be playing the Punisher once again in the new Daredevil Reborn series, which will be 100% MCU canon. Thank Odin we can be sure something is, right? However, my issue again with making all of these shows canon is that it causes a lot of continuity problems that I do explain more in my What is MCU Canon video too. And I'm not just talking subtle things like Daredevil being way more powerful in She-Hulk than he was in his own show back in the day on Netflix. Now, one thing that goes against Brad's claims is this beauty right here. I was very fortunate enough to receive this as a Christmas gift this year. The official Marvel Studios, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, an official timeline book. Now, the only mention of Daredevil in this extremely big book is acknowledging his appearance in She-Hulk. He doesn't even get a mention in the whole section covering Spider-Man No Way Home. But let me read you part of the opening foreword by Kevin Feige himself. It's Jackanory time. Oh, hi there. Welcome to Jackanory. Are you sitting comfortably? We recognise that there are stories, movies and series that are canonical, you know what I mean, if I'm saying that right, to Marvel, but were created by different storytellers during different periods of Marvel's history. The timeline presented in this book is specific to the MCU's sacred timeline through Phase 4. But as we move forward and dive deeper into the multiverse saga, you never know when timelines may just crash or converge. Hint, hint, spoiler alert. That's literally what it says. It's not me saying that bit. Now, Phase 4 ended with Black Panther Wakanda Forever back in 2022. This book only came out about October 2023, so only a couple of months ago, and this could be outdated already. Now, you may say that in his defense, yes, he did say that subject to change, it may converge with other universes or timelines, or we may change our minds basically on what is in the official timeline. However, I think he was talking more about how things outside of the MCU, like the X-Men movies made back in the day by Fox, are canon to the multiverse, but not the MCU itself. I think the Netflix shows and other things like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cause a bit more of a problem to insert so easily if you're going to say that they were in the MCU all along. But to be fair, with a multiverse story and Marvel basically having the rights back to every character and owning all the Fox movies now thanks to Disney and their relationship with Sony, with Spider-Man, this was always going to be the case. But here is what I think matters the most.
You don't need to know what happened to Thanos to enjoy this show. You can.
Sure.
You can, and she lives and breathes in the same world, but you don't have to. So anyone who's a casual fan or doesn't know any of the other stuff could jump in blind and enjoy it on its own terms.
This is great news for those who don't want to go back and watch 3 seasons of Daredevil to prepare for this show. Hawkeye could be considered still fairly required viewing leading into this though, for Maya's introduction and how important her backstory and relationship with Kingpin will be. But I imagine the Echo show itself will recap it enough. However, I do highly encourage you to watch Daredevil at some point at your own pace. And whether this becomes truly canon or not, this show was clearly written with Kingpin's backstory from that show in mind. Kingpin is being built up as the Thanos of the street level heroes, which is very cool in my opinion. He's the perfect villain for that. I think Spider-Man is going to fall more into the street level stuff too now that he's had his sort of soft reset in the MCU, and expect more Daredevil interactions in his story going forward. Let me know what you think. Is Daredevil canon to the MCU now? Has it always been? Or does it even matter? Are you looking forward to the new Echo series? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. On this channel, I love to talk Marvel, movies, play some old movie-based PS2 games, watch some cringe TV, and just enjoy doing any pop culture stuff, really. So if that sounds like a bit of you, it really means the world to me if you hit that subscribe button, and hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.
I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my quest, I'ma make it known. They call me obsessive, oh I know. Call me selective with